Never a doubt. Mariners win 7-5. They improved to 42-31 on the season, and they have taken the first two of the 3-game series with the Texas Rangers. Let's go over to scoring plays. There's a lot of them. Cal Raleigh singles home Josh Rojas to make it 1-0 in the first inning. And in the third inning, Julio Rodriguez homers to left center to score Josh Rojas 3-0. Third inning, Dominic Canzone singles home Cal Raleigh to make it 4-0. Rangers get it on the board in the fifth. An unearned run because George Kirby makes an error. Marcus Semien doubles to left to make it 4-1. Mariners get some insurance, and they needed it. Josh Rojas homers to right in the seventh inning, and Josh Rojas, amazing game from him. Singles to center to score Canzone and more. 7-1 at the end of 8. Ninth got scary. Wyatt Langford grounds into a fielder's choice to third to make it 7-2. Josh Smith walks with the bases loaded to make it 7-3. And Marcus Semien singles to right to score Grossman and Jankowski. 7-5. Thankfully, a terrific play by Tyler Locklear is able to end the game. Whew. Your negatives. I mean, there's a pretty obvious one. Let me just look offensively and see if the JP had kind of a rough one. Garver had kind of a rough one. Both guys get on via walks. They end up drawing 8 walks today, which is nice to see. 4 of those off of Nathan Eovaldi. Luke Raley had a really bad offensive game. 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. And again, you see why you don't want him facing lefties when Brock Burke was in that game. And Tyler Locklear mostly struggled at the plate. Although, congrats to him on a stolen base, and we'll talk about the positive at the end. Pitching-wise, Eduardo Bizardo was awful. Awful. And, you know, I would guess this is probably his last appearance for the Mariners for a little bit. Wouldn't shock me at all if he was sent down. I don't know who the heck you're calling up. You can't call up Colin Snyder unless there is a move to the injured list, but oof, magoof. And look, let's just be honest here. This was a little bit on Scott's service. He waited way too long to pull Bizardo. I get it. You're really trying to get through that thing with the big lead and not have to use your high leverage guys. It was extremely fortunate that they ended up getting out of this thing. Extremely. It was a poor decision by Scott's service. At least 2 batters too late. And Stanek didn't look great either. But it ends up working out. You know what has always worked out for me? Buying stuff at Simply Seattle. Simply Seattle has the very best in Seattle sports gear. Great stuff for the Mariners, the Seahawks, the Kraken, the Sounders, Supersonics. You can find it all at Simply Seattle. MOLLYWHOP15. Not sure why I couldn't remember that. I only say it 3,000 times a day. That'll take 15% off your order. It's a great deal from great people. SimplySeattle.com. Link in the description to make it nice and easy for you. Whew, there's a lot of positives to talk about tonight, too. Josh Rojas, like I said, was phenomenal. The best offensive game from him in a long time. And he has really scuffled as of late. But 2 for 3, scores 3 runs, draws 2 walks, hits the homer, gets the big insurance hit to make it 7-1. Oh, it's great to see him have a big game because they need him. There's not a real obvious answer as a replacement for him. So they need him to be a quality option on that strong side of the platoon. Also made a couple of really nice defensive plays as well. Awesome game for Josh Rojas. Awesome game from Julio. Awesome to see. Too many awesomes. Julio Rodriguez, great to see he's homered in 2 of 3 games. He absolutely clobbered that pitch, and it was a bad pitch. Nathan Eovaldi was bad today. Good job by Bruce Bochy, really, to recognize it and just say, yeah, you're done. 3 innings and 75 pitches, he was donezo. He just did not have good command of any of his offerings. But it was Julio also laces the single as well. Great game. Great game from Julio. Cal Raleigh gets the RBI single and draws a walk and steals a base. I joked that he's now more aerodynamic now that he's done the Buhner buzz cut. That was great. Dom Canzone with a couple of hits. I really can't remember the last time Dom Canzone had a couple of hits. 2 hits in a game. Can't remember the time Dylan Moore reached twice either. And he steals a base. Mariners actually ran quite a bit today. Moore had a stolen base, big rally, big dumper, big rally for big dumper. Stole 4. Tyler Locker with the stolen base as well. Terrific play by Locklear on that play. And I tweeted that, on George Kirby's air, and we'll talk about Kirby for sure. I would like my first baseman make that play. That's still true. It wasn't a good throw by any stretch of the imagination. It's amazing how many people are too. I almost said a bad word. I don't want to call anybody that word. Starts with an S and ends with a D. We really struggle sometimes to compartmentalize that. Just because I was critical of one part of it doesn't mean that I'm not critical of the other. It was a bad throw. Kirby should have taken another step, planted, and made his quality throw. But I would like my first baseman to make that play. However, I don't care because that was an amazing diving play on that Corey Seager ground ball. Awesome job by him. Showed off some quick reflexes to make that play and get the out and get the win. And the rest of the pitching outside of Bizzardo and Stanek, let's be honest, I mean, he's pretty fortunate to get out of this thing, was terrific. We'll end with Kirby. Thornton did a very nice job. Big that they were able to get an inning and a third out of him. Saucedo with the huge double play. Corey Seager, not the best of days for him. But he gets that big double play. We talked about the guys in the 9th inning. George Kirby was fantastic. And, he did walk 2, which for him seems like 6. First time that I believe he's walked 2 guys since that start against Boston to open the year. He changed eye levels so well today. Dontrell Willis brought it up as well during the post game that he just did such a good job changing hitters' eyes. Still throwing a ton of strikes. 56 of 90 is more than adequate. He was awesome. He didn't just challenge hitters over the plate. He was looking to make hitters change that eye level. And that's a very important thing for someone who doesn't have elite secondary pitches to do. That was a terrific start from Kirby. Absolutely terrific. I really like this. I know that we're going to focus, or some of us will, on that 9th inning and how this game got really close and how, it was a poor decision by Scott Service. There's no getting around it. Poor decision to not have Stanek in that game earlier. And it really could have bit him in the bibby. But you can't just ignore the first 8 innings. Especially can't ignore the first 8 innings because you won. You won the game. And I think it's a massive win. I think all of these games against Texas are massive. But this was, for 8 innings, as pleasurable a Mariner experience as I think we've seen all year. As pleasurable as it's been. The offense was good. The defense was good, minus 1 bad throw. And, a play of first baseman I'd like to make. But if the play doesn't have to be made if Kirby makes a better throw. So there you go. And awesome pitching, minus 1 guy. 1.5 guys. I just made Ryan Stanek half a guy. Ryan Stanek, half of him, still pretty big dude. But let's just look at this now, okay? Let me pull up the standings real quick. Okay, so Texas lost, obviously. They played the Mariners. Did you know that? Houston lost to the Detroit Tigers, a game that they were down 10-0 in at one point. The Angels aren't trying, and the Oakland A's are also not trying. Not really trying. You know what I mean. Although they've won. Angels have won 2 in a row. Good for them. Angels are 12.5 games back. Oakland is 15.5 games back. The Astros are 9 games back. And the Texas Rangers are 7.5 games back. You have a chance with a win tomorrow and Logan Gilbert on the mound to be 8.5 games up on the division. And I want to make this abundantly clear because I know I saw a bunch of you post about it, how winning the division means nothing. That's fine. That's fine if you feel that way. You're not wrong. Just winning the division isn't good enough for the Seattle Mariners. It's a massive step. When you win the division, you guarantee home games and you guarantee playing a wild card team. I think that's pretty darn big because, yes, I want the Mariners to play better. I want them to start scoring more runs. I want the strikeout issues to be less readily apparent. Another 14 today, by the way. 7 runs, tough to complain about, but 14 more strikeouts. Only 6 the game before, if you're looking for a positive. And the positive is that they've won both of these games. I want all of that. But what I really want, more than anything, is to get in and do damage. And the best way to get in and do damage is create the path of least resistance. Ultimately, what we need to start looking at is Cleveland. And Kansas City a little bit. Minnesota to a lesser extent. Because you want to be that 2 seed next. You want to automatically advance to the LDS, right? And here's the crazy thing. We can start talking about this stuff now. Yeah, of course, there's a lot of baseball left to be played. There's 89 games to go. And I think you probably need to win 44 of them to win this division at this point. Maybe 45. I think 87 wins is going to do it this year, which is darning with faint praise. So again, I understand just a division win isn't good enough. Having said that, it's also something they haven't done in 23 years. So you can say whatever you want about how it means nothing. I completely disagree with you. The difference between, again, compartmentalize the difference between appreciating something you haven't done for 23 years and understanding that it's not necessarily good enough. Like if you can't find the black and white, sports are not for you. They're not. You're not going to have a good time, or you're just going to be a miserable human being. And I don't really like associating with miserable people. I did it for a long time, and it led to a very, very, very bad depression. So I get it. Winning the division, not good enough. Winning the division, good. If you can't see the difference, okay, sorry for you. Tomorrow, the Seattle Mariners have a chance to sweep the Texas Rangers. It's Logan Gilbert on the mound for the Mariners. I don't remember who it is for Texas. I think it's Dane Dunning. Dane Dunning. If it's not Dane Dunning, you can just leave it in the comment and I'll say, thank you for correcting me. And I will actually mean it. There will be no sarcasm. Got scary, but this was an awesome win. I'd really appreciate you hitting like. I'd appreciate you hitting subscribe if you haven't yet. Support means a heck of a lot. 8 innings of this was terrific. The 9th was scary, but we got a chance to do something special tomorrow. You might as well do it.